Hey, did you know if you don't prep your wall right before you put drywall mud on it, it could fail? I'm going to tell you the right way to prep it and why it might fail right after this. All right, I've got this question a lot in the comments, so I decided to do a video about it because I think a lot of you don't really know what is the right way to prep a wall before you put mud over it. And it varies with what you're doing. So let me give you some examples. I'll tell you what to do and why. So number one, as always, it's best to put mud over a clean, sound wall. Generally, moisture is not a great idea, but if the wall is slightly damp, you can usually mud over it. If it's very damp, don't do it. You want to get it fairly dry, but minor moisture is okay. Dust, you want to minimize the dust. If you've sanded and you've got a lot of dust, or that wall is just dusty for some reason, clean it first. If you've been working on it and it's just light sanding dust, usually that will melt into your mud, but there is a limit to that. You don't want to try and just go right over it. Often if you try and spread mud over a dusty wall, it will curl off and just fall off the wall. Some of it will. That's kind of proof that it's not a good idea. So clean wall, clean of dust, minimal dust, and minimal moisture. You also don't want contaminants on it. Like if there's anything like grease, sometimes we've had cases where the wall got sprayed with some chain lube off for our bazooka. You got to treat that, you got to seal it, get rid of that, or it'll come right through and it can cause adhesion problems. So clean and sound. So if you've got a painted wall, you may want to clean it first. You don't know for sure what's on that wall. There could be light greasy splatter on it, dust, all kinds of contaminants. So it's generally best if you just wipe down the wall before you start mudding over it. I've always used a product called Crud Cutter, and I'll show you a picture of it here, and I'll try and put a link in the description down below. It's a great product because it's non-toxic, non-flammable, biodegradable. It's a safe product, but it works like mad. It's really good at cutting grease. So I just put a little bit in some water, spray it, or a rag, wipe a wall down, let it dry, and you're good to go. But if it's painted, there's another step you need to do. If you're doing a repair, you often are doing it right over a painted wall. And the glossier it is, the less your mud wants to stick. So how do you combat that? Well, you could put a bonding primer over the whole area that you're going to put mud on. That can help, but I still recommend my first step either way, and that is to sand it. I've done a lot of automotive painting. There's a picture of my hot rod right here. I painted that. One of the tricks to getting automotive paint to stick to smooth surfaces is a little bit of sanding scratches. You got to be careful with it. It can't be too coarse or it comes right through a shiny finish like a paint job. But if you tried to paint over super slick surface, it won't stick. And that's because it needs what we call tooth. And that is those sanding scratches. The paint can literally hang on to those sanding scratches where if it's smooth, it just doesn't have anything to bite onto, and you can get delamination and failures. Could even get cracking from improper prep of your surface. So what I do is I suggest you sand it with like 80 grit or even 60 grit. You want some good hefty scratches in there. Sand it until you've got maybe 50% of it scratched up. I don't know an exact amount. I just sand it a little bit till I know it's scratched up pretty good, and then clean that dust off. Now it'll stick to that painted surface. And remember, the glossier it is, the more you want to sand it, because things just don't like to stick to glossy. It'll stick to a flat paint better than it will a glossy. One more prep area. All these prep ideas apply to drywall, whether it's new or painted. If it's new drywall, you generally don't have to do anything unless you got the dust on it or any other contaminants. But it's those existing surfaces, you're skim coating them, you're repairing, you got to do the sanding and the cleaning, deglossing basically, and you want to make sure it's clean of contaminants. But that also applies to paneling. I get asked this all the time, can I put mud over paneling? Well, yes, you can, but if that paneling is floppy at all, it's not really sound, it could very well crack your mud. It really needs to be solid and something that's not going to flex easy, because drywall mud doesn't like to flex very much at all, so it'll crack. But if it's sound enough, you basically do the same thing. You clean it, sand it, clean it again, then you can mud over it. But it's usually a good idea on something like primer to do a bonding primer, and that's also because it's often dark paneling and you want to seal that. So a sealing primer like maybe Zinsser Bullseye 123, it's a pretty good one, and that will seal that dark color in. And sometimes there's wood stains in there because it doesn't have a top coat on it. You want to seal that too so it doesn't try and bleed through your mud and cause adhesion problems. Hey, if you want to increase your learning power 1000%, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up. After you subscribe, look for that bell, click the bell, and you'll get notified of all the videos. Hey, that's a little tip for you. I hope that helps you out, and if you like that, here's another video that'll help you out. Click that one right now, and I'll see you on that next video. Take care, everybody.